Hello, fellow travelers and viewers. Welcome to Timeless Tarot. We're going to skip the intro and just jump right in. We're going to draw 4 cards, and they will represent the readings for today. Actually, you know what? We're going to draw 3 cards today. And the reason that I'm only drawing 3 cards today is because I actually just recorded a full hour-long 4-card pick-a-card reading. And after saving the recording, I checked the file and there was no audio. I don't know why. The audio should have been recording, but it was not. So I just recorded a whole one today. So let's do something a little shorter today. Unfortunately, mainly because of technical difficulties, but also because it's late at night and I'm recording this because I want to make sure we get one every day and I want to be there for you every day. But to do that, I have to record a little later at night. Okay. No big deal, but it is like almost 1 in the morning. So let's get this on the show on the road. How about that? Okay, we have Wheel of Fortune. You know, that's kind of what happened with me in this recording. The Hanged Man. Interesting. We're getting some interesting cards in this. And finally, we have the 7 of Pentacles. So, seeing someone's work progress slowly over time. We have this Hanged Man, which is kind of really wanting to fall, wants to let go. It's a moment of divine timing, knowing when to move on from a situation and knowing when to be at rest, okay? Having the wisdom to know when to let go, having the wisdom to know when to hold on. And we have the Fortune, the Wheel of Fortune, you know. Good times come to some, and it ebbs and flows. You know, when it rains, it pours. So, enough of me yammering, let's go with reading number 1. And please subscribe to this channel, okay? Hey, reading number 1, you chose the Wheel of Fortune. How are you doing today? Are you feeling kind of at the whims of the universe? Kind of realizing that some things are just kind of beyond one's control? Is that what you're feeling? Or are you kind of looking for a lucky streak? Are you kind of hoping for a lucky moment? You're kind of looking for a little bit of luck. I know I could use a little luck today. All right. Currently, you're thinking about how things move, how things are balanced. Your mind might be racing right now about something, about some kind of union. You might be thinking about love. You let go of something in the past. You had to make a deliberate choice to walk away from something that was pretty fundamentally big for you, okay? You were walking away from some form of stable environment. Whatever it was that you were leaving was something that you were familiar with. It was kind of the norm. You know, this is one of those things where things were kind of becoming, I don't want to say stagnant, but, you know, the same day in and out was kind of happening. And you were done with that. It's time to move on. And now you're thinking about love and how you fit into a situation, how you match well with something. Also how like certain things kind of are aligning. You know, you're noticing polarities. Yeah, where you fit in is on your mind. Okay. Because we're moving into 3 of Pentacles. You're going to find some place where you at least intellectually feel welcome. But it might come at a cost of some sort. Okay. Not necessarily bad, but there might be cost of admission of some form or other. Maybe it's could be like kind of like college tuition. Something like that. I won't go too deep into my thoughts on that, but it definitely can align with 7 of Swords. Okay. So it's an interesting mind reading. Like, when I say mind reading, I mean, cards just flying out. We'll put these to the side, actually. These seem like characters in this situation. Not so much the cards themselves. Okay, so... apologies, guys. I'm just a little bit out of sorts because of the time. But sometimes this is when I do my best readings, so stick around. Okay. Lack of sleep can sometimes really tap into something. I'll be getting sleep though. It's just kind of late. Okay. Yeah, that one wanted to come out. Okay. We will double that up. Actually, it fell right on top of the Three of Pentacles and Seven of Swords, and we were kind of talking about that, so let's actually use that as like a clarifying card on top, and we'll do that before we see in any of the other cards. Okay, so there's some kind of commitment. So I actually do want to say, like, almost like maybe you are switching schools or you are entering school, higher education perhaps, which requires commitment and kind of giving up quite a bit. It requires quite a sacrifice, especially once you get into post-grad stuff. Okay. So you're committed to kind of additional learning, or find yourself kind of within a role that your expertise does require someone with your knowledge. Like your expertise is of an important role in this group or endeavor, okay? And you're going to be putting in a lot of your effort into it. But you're making good decisions. You are embodying this right now, so you have a bit of a masculine king energy to you. I mean, obviously, like, you know, masculine, feminine energies can both be applied. It does not dictate your gender or anything like that. It's not indicating anything there. It's tapping into what the cards designate as a masculine type of energy. In this case, it would be analytical decision making, like having a mastery of making decisions based on the numbers, looking at the fine tooth with a fine tooth comb, all the details. You know, like an accountant would be someone who makes decisions, or like some kind of financial advisor would know how to look at the numbers really well and know what's best to go by. It can also just be rational, rather than not irrational being the opposite, but intuitive decisions being more of the polarity here. This would be less of an intuitive decision making and more of a very focused on rational arguments and logic. Okay. And you're embodying that. Okay, so we have this some sense of like stability in the past, which you might have left. Okay, so maybe this is like you decided it's time to leave, and now you're on your way. Maybe this is a journey that's begun more recently, and this is a little bit more in the past. Because we have this stability on the mind, your thought of stability with the wands is some way channeling into this being instability. Well, what was going on then? Okay, so but there's a new emotion. Some emotional new start makes you want to leave this kind of stagnant waters, these moments that aren't changing fast enough for you. And you're making good choices based on rational thought, like you're making logical decisions, strong logical decisions, and you are kind of aligning energies here. You're moving fast mentally, but you're aligning different values. So you might be finding that there's a connection, or there's like some kind of matching energy that you're mentally using as your decision-making process, as part of it at least. Okay, yeah, there's this kind of drive forward, a lot of thinking, a lot of analytics, a lot of commitment using rationale and logic, because we have the Knight of Swords kind of connecting with this Six of Swords. Okay, and you may feel like you're putting in quite a lot of, you might be pulling a lot of weight, or pulling most of the weight in some kind of group project. It's going to be a lot of work, like a lot of work. I see schooling in this reading, schooling or office work of some sort, or like career-oriented work. But I tend to, when I see Three of Pentacles, think school very quickly. It just looks like a scholarly card, a sense of study. So now we have these two characters here. I'm going to actually say this is a character. This is a person, not so much the element of victory and celebration, but rather someone who kind of embodies that, someone who has a bit of a, might have met him in the past, a little bit braggadocio energy. Someone who brags, someone who's got a little bit of an ego, at least in terms of their personality and how they portray themselves. And then you have a more like competitive female spirit here, one where there's charisma, there's self-confidence, but also a way to nurture someone's, like this person will know how to nurture someone into action, know how to kind of get someone to, in both directions, negatively and positively. They might be able to really build someone up within and get them like motivated to move on. It can also kind of egg them on. It's kind of a both energy here. These two characters here, coming in for some reason. They might be friends together, or they might be two separate people in your life. But that kind of energy seems to be influencing your drive forward. Like I said, could perhaps be kind of pushing you forward, or could it perhaps be pulling you forward? There's different ways to motivate somebody. How do you feel about all this? Group number 1. Okay. This looks like you're kind of like, you're waiting to know when to go, and now you're ready to go. You were waiting for something, and now it's time. Putting this to the side. I don't know why, but that's going to the side. Okay. This is the card that wants to come. Okay. I'm going to be curious to see what these two cards are. But let's start in the center, because that's where I like to start. With you. You might be feeling a little left out of something happening. You might be feeling a little like FOMO, fear of missing out. You were patient with where you were in the past. Okay, now we have more of these wands. So like, here's what I'm thinking. Like, you have charisma, you have confidence that you can take whatever it is that you're looking to do to the next step. You might be moving on, you might be going to school, you might be going to a new job, you might be just getting a raise or some change. There's a change, because we have quite a dramatic shift on this side versus this side. So, okay. I say that because we have stability, and then we have like kind of and leaving here, and then finding roles after some movement, and also a sense of lack. Okay. So now there's this pairing. Okay. This could also be a character of some sort. This could also be someone in your life, but it's more embodiment of you, I think. But then you're kind of going to be at peace and letting go of something. Maybe it's kind of like you might be really worried about the outcomes of the work you're putting into it, but at this stage, you're going to be just putting in, grinding, doing the work. What happens, happens. You're just going to put your, what's the nose to the grindstone. You're going to be in the books. You're going to be thoroughly involved in the flow of this endeavor, this project, this thing that you're working on. And you're going to be at peace with the outcome. You're just going to do, I'm going to put my best foot forward. I'm going to put my all into this. And what happens, happens. That's what's happening here. Okay. Here you're making good decisions. Your mind's kind of racing. You feel like you're trying to find something because there's some feeling of lack right now, but it's going to move forward to like being more aligned. You're going to feel more like in tune with your own self, actually. And there could be someone coming in. But it also could be that you're just driving forward with your goals. How does the Wheel of Fortune come into this? Well, let's see this card. Patience, rest. Your mind might be racing right now. You're going to be putting in a lot of work. You might be thinking like, you might be looking in all sorts of directions, but you already kind of have an idea of what you want to do. Where you fit in best is where you should just, like, once you find that you found a place where you kind of integrate with what it is you're looking for, like you're starting to see some, oh, no, people need me for this reason, or, oh, someone really appreciates my efforts being put into this. Rest easy, take a breather, focus in on that. Don't keep your mind racing looking for new opportunities, okay? Once you found something, put a little effort into that path when you get a really good response. Okay. Group number 1, this has been your reading. I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe to see more of me in the future, because I'd love to see more of you. And leave a comment and tell us how you're doing. Did you make a big change? Are you going to some sort of new path that requires your responsible efforts? What is something that you're striving for right now? Because that's going to be the focus and where you move towards. And I can't wait to hear about it. Okay, take care. Hey, group number 2, welcome to your reading. You chose the Hanged Man. Some form of stagnancy or pause in your life. It's also knowing when to start something new, knowing when to wait for a better opportunity. You're kind of just waiting. Okay, there we go. So, how are you doing today, group number 2? Nothing's really standing out here. I'll try one more time. There we go. Okay. I hope you're doing well. Let's see what we got. Thinking about starting some new project of some sort? Or kind of going on an adventure, perhaps a road trip, perhaps you're just kind of looking at Skyscanner or something for flights, or perhaps you're just planning something new in terms of a cool project that you want to do, some kind of creative project. You've been a little bit mindful of the past lately. You've been thinking back about some events involving friendships and romance, and you're kind of taking what you can from those emotional memories, those moments that you're kind of bringing them back in because there's important lessons to take with you, and you're ready to kind of face them. Okay, so there's a choice in the future involving finances, which can lead to some form of fortune or change of fortune. At least mindfulness of fortune. Interesting. Okay, so Wheel of Fortune was the first reading. I shuffle back in any cards that are already completed. They go back into the deck. I don't keep them separate once they've been read. So that's why you see the Wheel of Fortune here right after. But one card that is not in the deck right now is reading number 3's card. And that is 7 of Pentacles. I don't know why I felt the need to mention that. Only maybe to say the aspect of 7 of Pentacles is, seeing the start of some progress, having put in work, not necessarily close to fruition yet or close to completing your goal, but you're seeing the beginnings of something growing. Okay. Okay, so with the Hanged Man, we have this kind of patience, mindfulness, knowing when to start, when to stop, when to wait, when to go. You're reminiscing about friendships from the past. There's some form of charity or some bestowal of knowledge that was important very recently. Maybe someone gave you advice. And now you're ready to go off on an adventure. You're motivated. You're feeling motivated. And you would be if you're moving very quickly and aligning your goals, because you have the Chariot being your center of self right now. So you are aligned. You have a lot of movement here. And, interesting. Someone gave you some advice recently that gave you a whole new perspective on what it is that you want to do. And you kind of reinvigorated a sense of adventure and willingness to take risks and to explore the unknown. I mean, these two cards go together hand in hand. You have this Fool character here, and you have the Page of Wands, very much similar in their readiness to go off and explore. The Fool is a much stronger energy, one where you really are committing a new life chapter to yourself. You're bringing in a new life chapter. The Page is a little bit more of a specific, I'm ready to go on this journey, but this is a new life chapter. you're leaving behind perhaps some relationships, perhaps some habits of the past. You might have revisited them recently, some like old habits, not necessarily bad ones, but it could be like lifestyle change kind of stuff. So like you might have started to eat some things you haven't eaten in a while. This is in the past. This is like recent past. But like you might have tried some going back to like old habits, old ways of living your life. Okay. But now it was kind of part of this process of you realizing and confirming that it wasn't what you wanted. Okay. Now you're in a position where you might still have some of these new habits reoccurring that came from the past that you used to do a lot more. You might still have a few of them, but you've gotten rid of most of them at this point, and now you're about to fine-tune it and really get rid of all of them. You're going to go back to the best habits that you want to be part of. And we have this like real strong energy, or you want to embody and have in your life. We have this really strong energy of the yin and yang, the known and the unknown, as within, so without, as above, so below. The dual energies, the dualism, the awareness of dualism, but also the awareness that dualism can often be a mirage. Like we actually can, and sometimes be conscious of the idea that dualism is not there. What this separate idea of oneself and other is actually all like not two, not one, but two and one. A kind of maybe self-contradictory, but in many ways like a feeling of truth, of being connected and actually a singular source. Okay. That's a really strong energy here. And then we have Queen of Cups. So a nurturing energy. And this is one of those things where you're going to share in the wealth of whatever it is that's good that's coming to you. It could be very good ideas. It could be very good mental state of being, or like mindsets that you might be sharing with others. It could also be actually like physical wealth, because we have these Two of Pentacles here leading to the fortune. So we have Pentacles leading to fortune. So it could be some kind of financial uptick in life. Perhaps you're getting a raise. Perhaps there's something, well, it seems really intellectual. Perhaps you have an idea of how you can make more money in some ways. Like you're kind of see fortune on the horizon. Maybe it doesn't come yet exactly, but you see fortune or see a way towards it. You see a path towards a better financial outcome or a better just way of working efficiently with energy. So it could be just knowing where the best place to put your time is. But you're going to be nurturing this idea, and I feel like you're going to be sharing in the benefit of whatever it is that you're thinking about in terms of fortune. This decision, there's a lot of balance here because we have Two of Pentacles and Two of Cups. A lot of balancing. And I do want to say like emotional regulation is something that might be on the mind. Because we have like this patience, this movement kind of in kind of conflict in some ways. And then, actually there could also be relationship elements here where there might be some kind of, I'm not sure about new relationship, but could be alignment of relationships. Okay. Interesting. Okay. This feels like an interesting reading. A strong one. Man, I'm like, it's late at night. My voice is probably like cracking and everything. All right, let's keep going. Ooh, there we go. Okay. What are you feeling like during these times? What do you feel like? So clarifying the Page of Wands and the Chariot, we have, well, you feel stable. So emotional regulation might be something that you're working towards. Revisiting old habits can oftentimes like lead to past regulatory cycles, like how you feel stable, and how you cycle through different actions. Old habits can lead to dysregulation that can find a new pattern. You're finding rebalance or grounding here. You're grounding through your movement, though. Okay, you were like kind of being a little at ease with this new idea, this like readiness for a new adventure. Okay, so now I'm actually seeing very strong financial elements here, because we have the Ace of Pentacles moving up diagonally to the Fortune. And we have this nurturing, and the Pentacles are next to the Fortune. So we have some new adventure, some lighthearted nature, maybe someone left you some advice or gave you something, said something maybe inadvertently or by accident, which led to like readiness for a real new chapter in life. And you might have more confidence when you're looking at things that you knew about, you have some expertise in, involving either finances or energy flow. So this doesn't necessarily need to be money oriented. This could actually also be emotional knowledge, knowing how to nurture someone's energies, someone's ability to maintain resiliency, calm during tough times, meditative practices, stuff like that. You got some pride coming in. So like feeling of like a little bit of joy, some new ideas, kind of branching off towards Fortune, some light-hearted, whimsical nature, kind of leading towards movement and choices. And then you have stable financial grounding, giving you ability to kind of see a little farther ahead, having more forward vision, long-term vision. Then you have a balancing of choices and balancing of energies and motivations, alignment of oneself, leading to an internal source of pride. And then we have kind of a very, very hyperactive subconscious in the future, because now this might be sleepless nights, but it could also be more so just you're doing a lot of work underneath everything that's happening and you're not really aware of it. Like you're not consciously paying attention to it, but like you're changing and transforming on your own, just through the actions you're taking, through nurturing people. In some ways, this is a transformational card in this spot. I feel like it's one where we're not sure how it's going to go yet, but I feel like it's going to go really well, because what you have on your mind is bringing people into a better place through your nurturing ability to manifest like good energy, good emotional responses within people, and finding some balance with other people in a way where both people can come out of it thinking that was a good experience, that was a good encounter with somebody else. And it comes from having a little bit of a non-duality element to it. A sense that like we're all kind of one in this. And sometimes you can give a little more and not have to worry too much about it. And sometimes you can kind of just run in and know that both people have good intentions, and no one has to really worry what's going to happen if you kind of become a little vulnerable with each other. And, that's kind of the energy here. You're one of the type of people who has put a lot of effort into this, and this comes through having seen quite a lot of different experiences and a lot of different scenarios. So you're someone who's mature enough to know how to handle different aspects of it. You have the lion energy, so if you need to set boundaries, you absolutely are capable of doing so. You are capable of setting the boundaries you need to in any given situation. However, when it doesn't need to be a reflexive response, okay? Because you've dealt with this a few times. You're growing. You're doing a good job. You might be a little hypercritical of oneself, but that's okay. We all are kind of like that, right? We are our own biggest critic. Yeah, group number 2. I'm going to say that there's some pretty good things coming your way. You're working hard, where you can find alignment through perhaps meditating yourself. If that's something that you kind of let go of during this past cycle or this past era, because we're talking about eras here with the Fool. This new era might be one where you might want to reintroduce meditation and mindfulness practices. Okay. If that's something that you were once doing. Okay, great. Or if you'd like to explore it, you are being invited to in some ways by the Fool. Cool. All right. This has been your reading. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a comment and subscribe to this channel to see more of me in the future. Take care. Hey, group number 3, you chose the 7 of Pentacles. Welcome to your reading. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing well. Perhaps you've been putting in a lot of work into something and you'd like to see more progress. What is that about? Okay. All right. Sorry I'm a little slow. It's kind of late, but we're almost at your reading. Here we go. Are you feeling a little left out of something? Some kind of fear of missing out? There was a lot of movement, a lot of thoughts that you had to pay attention to. You were like in a creative, kind of chaotic mental state in the past, recent past. A lot of thoughts, a lot of overthinking, maybe not in a bad way, but a lot of thinking. Okay, and then you have this creative spark coming in. You're feeling like you're missing out on some big event. Could be involving finances. But you have this new idea, this new creative spark, which actually is going to lead to a more deliberate planning stage. Okay? This creative spark leads to a deliberate planning stage. Okay, this one really just wanted to come out. We're going to be clarifying this with 2 more, 5 more in total. Okay, 2 came out. So put 1 here, 1 here. Okay. Let's get these cards cleaned up a little bit. Back in order. Great. Okay. And clarifying, right now you've been putting in work, you've been seeing progress, you've been deliberately planning, and you have been growing something on your own terms. You're seeing results, but it's not what you're hoping for, although it is getting there. It's getting there. There's a strong energy in your past, someone who has domineering energy in some ways. You were letting go of something, and you were full of creative potential. Something creative sparking your ideas, your thought process. Either you kind of took command and took charge of a situation, or you met someone who has that kind of energy, who does take command and take charge, and kind of brought you to a position, either through your actions or this other person's brought you to a position of a more peaceful state of being, where you can see progress and more structure, but you still feel like something's missing, and soon you're going to have this creative spark, which leads to a nurturing of emotions. You're going to feel very emotionally strong and capable through this new idea, this new creative endeavor. But it's going to have a lot of unknown elements to it because we have the moon. Okay. So what are we seeing here? I mean, the general theme is one of seeing progress in one's work, and we see that here right now with you having seen quite a lot of progress on something you've been working on. Either you really took charge and you had a lot of good ideas all at once, and you said, I'm going to do all of this all at once, I'm going to take charge and work on it really quickly, or someone else kind of tasks you with this. Someone tasked you to kind of work on these elements that are going to benefit you. Okay? You're a nurturing person. Perhaps you have an idea for a business, a new business, and you're going to start writing it out, but you're not sure exactly where to start. Okay. If it's not business, could be planning an action oriented thing. So it could be exercise, or it could be some form of maybe art project. Okay. We're going to keep going and seeing how these new changes are going to make you feel, and how you're going to feel within, and how your internal subconscious is going to influence your actions and your perspective on what's happening. Okay. Okay. All right, let's take a look. So clarifying the Five of Pentacles and the Nine of Pentacles, we have the Five of Swords. So some kind of like thinking through something, having felt like you had some feedback, some negative feedback to some result of something. Some result wasn't as what you wanted. Oh, wow, though. Okay. So in this case, I'm going to say you might actually have met someone who was a rather masculine and powerful personality, someone who does kind of take charge, because we have within you, we have the Empress. Within you is the Empress. In your physical life, we have the Emperor. So this could be something where you have matching energies, very strong matching energies with somebody. You might have been flirtatious in the past. And I say that because we have the Page of Cups and the Well. The Well is an oracle card. It's kind of like actually very similar to the Empress, where it's in touch with nature, and it's a very abundant creative energy. So you're putting in work. You're putting in a lot of emotional work. Could be with putting work in with this relationship, with whoever this is, some kind of commanding relationship. You can be proud of what you're doing. You feel proud of what you're doing in the future. I mean, you might feel like it's kind of heavy burden, but these are responsibilities that you're capable of taking on, and it's a path towards growth and kind of adding to your skill sets, adding to your ability to be the person you want to be. Six of Wands, so pride, a little bit of uncertainty, but you're planning, and you should be proud because you're putting in the effort, because you have an idea and you actually want to see what happens if you bring it into the world. You have a nice idea, a beautiful idea. And this is one where you can be proud that you're going step by step towards this progress, towards this vision of yours. Let intuition guide you in this case, because we have the Two of Swords. Kind of go with your heart. Follow your heart. If something feels right, go for it. If it feels wrong, no. Follow your heart here. Okay. Beautiful. Group number 3. I hope this was a good reading. Might have been a little short. It is late for me. But feel free to leave a comment and let us know, like, what is this? Who is this Emperor energy? Are you taking charge of this Emperor energy? Are you embodying that masculine drive to command and conquer? Or are you meeting someone who has this really, really strong energy about them? Let us know in the comments. I'm curious about this pairing here, because you have the Emperor and the Empress right next to each other. And we have some moments of pride and nurturing coming up. So very beautiful. Also, this creative spark. Can't wait to hear if you have a new artistic direction you're taking, or you're thinking about things a little creatively to solve problems, like you're solution oriented. I'd love to hear about it. All right. Take care. See you soon. Bye.